And I feel like horror movies were the same way, where like the level that they had gotten to in like the 70s with like The Exorcist and Halloween and all of that kind of like then opened the door to going into the 80s. And that first fucking Friday the 13th, okay, and don't listen to this because I'm totally gonna ruin the fucking movie if you never saw it, all right? But it's also, the movie's 40 years old. So in that first one, you know, that was basically the backstory was a kid drowned up at Crystal Lake, a kid named Jason Voorhees or whatever his name was, Jason, right? And basically the mom felt the camp counselors should have been paying more attention, but they were too busy partying and fucking around and all of that type of stuff. So in the first one, you know, all of these people are getting killed and you're just assuming it's a guy. And then in the end, it turns out that it's the mom. I forget what happens to her. I imagine they ended up killing her. And then in the end of the movie, I'm totally ruining the movie, but I'm telling you, he's fucking 40 years old. This fucking scared the shit out of me like nothing I ever watched. Somebody was on a boat out in Crystal Lake where Jason died, and they were playing this calm music. It was the end, and I was so relieved that the fucking murderer was done, and you thought the movie was over. This is the first time I ever saw a movie do this. It was that last scare, and I had no idea it was coming. And when that motherfucker came up, the drowned Jason came up and grabbed the person in the boat and pulled him out under, and they did it like super fast and then into slow motion, I think. I fucking literally pulled my legs up onto I forget how old I was when I saw it, 13 or 14. I was like, ugh. And also, you got to understand, like, I'd never seen movies like that. My parents didn't take me to that. And all we had like 3 fucking networks, and our UHF thing was busted. So, you know, I was watching like I went from like the Mike Douglas show in cartoons on Saturday morning to the first Friday the 13th. It scared the fucking shit out of me. And the movies were good. Then I watched Airplane. I taped Airplane, the movie, which is just as funny as it's always been. One of my favorite jokes I'd totally forgotten about is when you first see Leslie Nielsen and, you know, when the first passengers get sick and they go, is there a doctor? Is there a doctor? And this woman goes, I think he's a doctor. And she leans into the aisle and you don't see Leslie yet. She goes, excuse me. She goes, are you a doctor? And he looks at her and he goes, I am. And he's wearing a stethoscope and he's got it in his ears. It's such a silly, stupid joke. And me and my lovely wife were sitting there watching that movie, just laughing our asses off. It's just pound for pound. I'm trying to think of those Zucker Brother movies. You can't cram any more jokes in there. It's just one, and that's when the shit hit the fan. All of that stuff. Wow, looks like I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. It was like in that movie Airplane where they were just slapping you and giving you a backhand and shit.
The jokes come faster than like a stand-up who's like rapid fire style. It just every fucking thing.
It's still just as funny as it always was. And I was watching it with my wife, and there's nothing I love more than listening to my wife laugh. I love listening to her laugh. And she's got such a great sense of humor. She's got a silly sense of humor, just like I do. And we just sat there laughing our asses off watching that movie. It's just, oh my God, just such an incredible movie. And what's his face? Robert Stack just crushed it. Absolutely fucking crushed it. Now, somebody tried to tell me that Robert Stack didn't even get the movie. Airplane is a remake, sort of. Oh, don't do this to me. Is it Kentucky Fried Movie? What was first? Bill needs to watch this YouTube video. It tells the story of how Airplane was virtually a shot-for-shot. Oh, yeah, like those airport movies of another remake of another movie, but played for comedy versus drama. Definitely worth a watch. Thanks, you won't be disappointed. Yeah, they had all of those George Kennedy movies. It was a spoof of those movies. All right, so I'm watching it right now. 0 Hour, 1957. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and the knee pads. I wonder how they ended up casting him. They must have been like Laker fans because he was good. Yeah. No, have you ever read any of the sports articles or like just articles on like just human beings that Kareem writes? The guy is like a next level thinker.
Love life. Love life. I really am enjoying my life. And what I love about it, I like to disappear into the past. Love life. Love life. I really am enjoying my life. And what I love about it, I like to disappear into the past.
I watched this movie that it was called Heaven's Gate, not The Cult. The movie's called Heaven's Gate. I watched, it's like 3.5 hours long. It was the guy, Michael Cimino, who made, he directed The Deer Hunter. And he won Best Picture and Best Director. He did Thunderbolt and Lightfoot with Clint Eastwood and Jeff Bridges. He sent the script to Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood was like, I love this guy. You direct the movie. The guy was on a tear. And then after that, Deer Hunter, and he won Best Director, Best Picture. The next movie he made was Heaven's Gate, and it bombed. And it was called like one of the biggest flops ever and one of the worst movies ever made. Dude, I'm watching the movie. It's like, you know, there's a beginning scene, kind of like The Deer Hunter, where the wedding scene's really long. This is like a college graduation, was really long. But when they got into it, what's going on? It was like a good movie. It's like, this is not even close to being the worst movie ever. I've seen movies worse than this win the Best Picture. Chariots of Fire? The fucking The English Patient? I mean, I've seen so many of those movies that won awards where you just like, I mean, it was all right. This movie was better than those. Those won the Oscars, and saying that this thing was the worst fucking movie ever made. And I really think there's like there's this thing with like, when somebody spends a lot of money and the second there's a little bit of a bad buzz, like everyone just wants to see it.
Yeah.
Just shit the bed. I mean, the worst movie ever made. I mean, come on, man. Remember the one where the chick licked the stripper pole there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Showgirls. Like, the acting in that was just like, the story, everything was bananas. It didn't even make any sense. Waterworld is a good movie. No, they just get into, they want to see it, Paul. They want to see somebody who's going for it in life.
Go down.
Go down. You got the award. We got the award. Now let's watch you fall off the other side of the mountain. I was sitting there watching it, looking at the cast. It's like that Heaven's Gate. It's like Jeff Bridges, Chris Christopherson, Christopher Walken. I'm like, how the fuck can this be bad?
Yeah.
Like, how can this be the worst fucking movie ever? So it kind of fascinated me because I watched another movie, that Year of the Dragon with Mickey Rourke, which was the same director did that one too. And I thought that was funny, like a classic Mickey Rourke thing. Like, this guy's on the outs, his movie bombed, and Mickey Rourke's like, yeah, I'll fucking work with them. So.
I just kept playing it over and over again, like Jack Nicholson in whatever that movie is where he chops that guy, Scatman Crothers, with an axe. The hell's that movie called? Red Rum? The Shining. I just sat there with that look on my face. Lounge singers. Actually, lounge singers don't travel. They're just stuck at that same place, you know? Like Jack Nicholson in the movie The Shining, just slowly going crazy. Playing handball off the wall of their Red Roof Inn suite.
I'm staying in one of these Red Rum, just one of those, you know, I like old shit to a point. Old hotels, I love the lobbies, but the second you go up to your room, you start walking down the hall, you know, you feel like you should be riding a big wheel, and you're going to come around the corner and those two creepy chicks are going to be standing there. God damn it, that movie freaked me out. That movie's it's still disturbing. That's just a disturbing movie, you know, and it's not the fact that he goes completely insane. It's just, as a comedian, watching a man suffering through writer's block like that and having that woman coming up whose face is shaped like a parking meter, asking you how it's going every 20 minutes. I love how they blame the hotel rather than that, you know, what I would say, she means well, you know. They just were a bad couple. I think that's what it was. And when they were down in society, they could go to events and they could sort of water down their awful relationship by interacting with others. And then once they just got, once they were just staying there at the hotel, for the whole goddamn winter.
You should have seen that building. I mean, it was just incredible. I wanted to take a tour of that. It had this really cool, like, old school just look about it, / almost reminded me of the hotel that was in The Shining, which, by the way, is a gorgeous hotel. It's just that Jack Nicholson goes in there and loses his mind. If you can just get past the movie, it's a beautiful hotel. And this seemed to be like the same era of architecture, and I really, really thought it was gorgeous. Oh my God, I just talked about Jack Nicholson in The Shining. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. He's just sitting there typing that over and over and over again.
That's probably the most frightening he ever was.
Oh, the shot. Yeah, he's nuts.
Yeah. And there's something about what's the woman who, and I just spaced.
Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall is like, you feel for her, and she's also annoying. Yeah, like just get in the hatchback and just let Jack go crazy, because it just, you know what it is? I think when I watch it, I kind of, in her, I see myself sometimes when I'm just playing the victim and being helpless. There's just something about it where she have a bat. He's a writer. How tough can he be? Just hit him in the head. It's not like he's a plumber going nuts. He writes shit.
Right.
Sitting at a typewriter. Good Lord.
He's got carpal tunnel. He can't even. How does he even swing his axe?
How does he hold the handle? And we met out near like Red Rocks, and we rode around in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado for like 4 hours, maybe 3. I don't know. It was like we rode for an hour and a half, and we got lunch at the hotel where they shot The Shining. So it was amazing. And that was amazing alone, just to see it. You're like, oh my God. And in the front, they have like, they more have like these little look like little like shrub Christmas trees. Like they don't have the maze there, but they kind of have a little one just for like tourists. If people remember, I mean, the movie's almost 50 years old. And then of course you go in and it's different because they built like a set and everything. But the front, is where they shot it, Scatman Crothers coming up in that little snowplow thing and all of that stuff. And it was amazing.
I don't understand why they had to be there to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to be doing up there? I mean, the level with which that it's going to snow, no asshole is going to go up there and vandalize the place. If they come there, it's because they need shelter. There was really no reason for it. Oh yeah, I got to write a book. Yeah, why don't I go up there? I'll hang out there and I'll do my own room service every day. I'll stay in room 706, and every day I'll take an elevator all the way downstairs to the kitchen. Who would sign up for that? Really didn't have any sympathy for him. I think it's a great movie. I'm just in a grumpy goddamn mood because today I got to drive from Ottawa all the way up to Sudbury.
Today was the greatest. Today was the greatest. Today was the greatest. Today was
It was fucking amazing. It was fucking amazing.